welcome to our Friday morning class, and today is International Women's Day, which it's an important day for really honouring women, but also for honouring women's rights and how far we've come. And I was thinking about this and thinking about our freedom and how lucky we are, and how some women in the world have so little freedom. And I just done a post about it. So many fears and so much is still happening that we don't always want to see and don't always want to know about. So I think today is about rejoicing women and celebrating women, but also honouring that we still have a long way to come as women in this world. So let's just take a moment and take an oil if you have an oil. I'm using myrrh, the oil of Mother Nature today. We're going to start with a breathing practice today. So let's just take a moment and just honour the women in your life, the women that gave birth to you, your ancestors, who you are, how strong you are. Just bring your hands on your heart, as mothers, as daughters, as sisters, as friends, as lovers, just honouring everything that you are today. Breathing that into your heart. And then bringing your hands down to your legs. So we're going to start with a breathing practice today that this is called, the translation means skull shining breath. So it's called Kapalabhati. And it basically means that it makes you glow, which is good. We all want to glow, okay? And it's a fairly advanced, it's not too advanced. It's quite accessible, but you want to do this on an empty stomach. So it's good to do when we've eaten. And you might not have done this with me, Cora and Charlotte, because you guys were in pregnancy, and we never do this in pregnancy. And it's a pronounced exhale, but it's a more, actually, let me put my sound on so you can hear the sound that I make. It's a more pronounced exhale and a passive inhale. Okay, so I'll just show you how it looks. So we inhale, exhale, then we inhale halfway and we start. And some of our breathing practices are really in the belly. And this is in the belly, but it's a little bit of a faster kind of movement. Okay, so I'll show you how it looks. So it's an inhale, exhale, half inhale, and then we go. So it's like you're expelling the air from the lungs, and you're expanding the lungs, and you're detoxifying as we do it, okay? So we'll just have a go. We'll do a couple of rounds. We'll see how we go of 10 pumps. And then at the end, we'll bring the tongue to the palate to stimulate the pituitary gland, the master gland, to balance the hormones, okay? So take an inhale, clear it out, exhale, half inhale. Here we go, 10 pumps. Through the nose, not the mouth. Three, two, one. Inhale, hold the breath, engage Mula Bandha. 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more round. Inhale halfway. And here we go. Three, two, one. Inhale the breath. Tongue to palate, retain, engage pelvic floor. Draw that energy up, that glow up to your head. Exhale. Beautiful. And we're going to do that as we practice. We're going to do one more round of that today, okay? So let's come to our mat. And today our practice is for empowerment. So coming to all fours, Hopefully you can see me okay. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, tuck the toes. Let's take a couple of cat-cows to warm up the spine. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, looking towards your navel. Inhale, feeling grateful. Exhale, drawing hands and press back into downward facing dog. Take a little pedal out of the feet. Give the head a little shake. Bending the knees, getting into the calves. Take a deep inhale and sigh it out. Let's come onto the tiptoes. Bend the knees, draw thighs to belly, belly to thighs. Bend into the knees and extend. We're connecting to our inner strength today. And again, bend the knees and release. If this is too strong, just stay with foot pedals. Beautiful. And again, draw navel to spine, engage pelvic floors. Lovely, Cora. And last one. Let's hold here. Take a breath. Press into your hands. I'm strong. I am powerful. I am woman. And then extend the legs. And then walk your hands to your feet or your feet towards your hands. Take your hands on your elbows and have a little release here from side to side. And then root to rise. Bring your hands up to the sky. Bring your hands to your heart with your feet hip distance, and then bring your hands so your palms are facing forward, your arms are facing down in mountain pose. Press into the feet, draw the thighs back, engage pelvic floor, shine your heart forward. And breathe. And just think about all the mountains that you've climbed in your life to be you. Breathe that in. All that you do as mothers. You are the mountains. Beautiful. And then let's take a little few breath of joys today. So take the feet out, slightly wider than the hips. So we bend the knees here. And then we do this little sniff breath, which is good to release the nervous system, okay? So we're like a conductor. We do a sniff, sniff, sniff. And then we release the hands down as in a ah, or just a ah. Okay, so let's just do it together, have a little bit of fun. And this is breath of joy. We're breathing in joy this Friday morning. Okay, here we go. So it's a hands over the head. And again, have some fun with it. And again. And again. One more time. From here, bring your hands onto your thighs with your palms facing up, your arms on your thighs, drop your bum down, strong legs, either staying here or bringing your hands up above your head, index finger tucks into the thumb now, into goddess pose, and really breathe in that strength. You are the goddess. Beautiful. Pumping down. 1, 2, 3, strengthening the legs. Beautiful. One more, hold down, engage pelvic floor, stretch up to the heavens. Exhale through the mouth. Bringing your hands down to your heart. And let's step towards the front of our mat. Feet hip distance apart. Let's take one sun salutation. Inhale, taking your hands up to the sky. Inviting in the light. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift, look ahead. Exhale, step back to plank pose. Let's hold a minute in plank pose. Find that core strength. Take an extra breath here. A little tuck of the tailbone and arch of the spine. Stay with me. Drop your knees. Drop your torso coming down. Forearms on the floor or cobra or up dog. Keeping the upper arms tucked in. Back of the neck. Long. Beautiful. Exhale, float down onto the belly. Press back to all fours. Option to work with cat-cow or lift your hips up to the sky. Pedal the feet a little bit more. Bring your feet hip distance. Take the left foot over to the middle of the mat and lift your right leg. Lift it as high as feels sweet for you. Just releasing into the hip. Maybe come onto the tippy toe of the left foot or maybe not. Inhale. Point the toe. Exhale, plant that foot in between your hands and root to rise, coming up into warrior two. So your hips are towards the long edge of the mat. The arms are wide. Drop the shoulders down away from the ears. Beautiful, Cora. Bring your back hand onto the straight leg and your front arm up and over. Front knees in alignment to ankle. Dancing warrior, forearm comes down to thigh, left arm comes up and over. I am strength, I am power, I am woman. Today is about really honouring all that we are and all that we do and how far that we've come and how far we still have to go. Last one. Last one, flowing. A little engagement of the pelvic floor, engaging your core. And then from here, the forearm comes down to rest onto the thigh and the left arm sweeps up just to skim the ear. Option to stay here or option to take it a little bit harder and lift the right arm so both arms are facing up diagonally. It does make it a lot harder, so see how you feel. Breathe in, exhale, clear it out. Root to rise, coming back up to warrior two. Option to take the block and to place the block on the inner arch of your foot, but don't worry if you don't have it. Bringing the left hand down onto the extended leg, the right arm up and over. From here, releasing down. Again, you can bring the forearm on the thigh. The left arm can come up or can skim that front ear and press your right hand down onto the block. If you can, just try to come onto the fingertips of the block and try not to dump into the block too much. So you're still really using the legs, building strength in the legs. One more breath here. See if you can draw that left shoulder blade back. Beautiful. Open through the side body. That's it. Don't collapse. Lovely. Root to rise, coming all the way up to warrior. Windmill your hands down either side of the front foot and step back to plank pose. Empowerment and strength. Let's hold here. Draw navel to spine. Drop your knees, drop your torso. Inhale, releasing up. Cobra, up dog. Triceps, hug the body. Beautiful. Draw the shoulders away from the ears, Charlotte. That's it. Exhale, release down. Press back. All fours. If you need a child, take it. Coming back into Ardha Mukha Shavasana, downward facing dog. Take a breath. Exhale. Draw the right foot across to the center of the mat and lift the left leg, coming as high as you feel. So you may want to come really high up and come onto the tiptoe of the right foot, stretch that leg really high, or you may want to keep the right foot down and make it a little bit smaller. Take another inhale. Exhale, plant your foot in between your hands. I'll swivel this way so you can see me. And then root to rise, coming up into your warrior two on the other side. So the torso is straight, the shoulders are down away from the ears, the neck is long. We're looking over the middle finger of the left hand. Connect to your strength. Heel to arch alignment of the feet, pressing into the feet and engaging your pelvic floor. That's it. And then bringing your back foot, your back hand down behind you and your left arm up and over. Dancing warrior, here we go. Beautiful. Just floating. Gorgeous. Side to side. Keep moving. Looking good. Opening up through the torso. Dancing through life. Last one. Legs stay really still. That's it. Make sure the legs don't move. Bringing the left forearm down. Right arm lifts. Right arm can skim the ear if that feels good for your shoulder. And just draw the right side body back a little bit and the right shoulder back. So we're not collapsing forward. Just feel that openness in the side body. Beautiful. Take a breath here. One more. Pressing into the feet. Root to rise, coming up to all fours. You may want to take the block and have the block by the inner arch of your left foot, bringing the right hand down, and one more little dancing warrior. An option to stay where we just were, or to slide your hand down to the block. And again, your right arm can stay up, or it can come over, and see if you can draw that right shoulder back and the right side of the ribs back. It's strong on the legs. Stay with me. One more breath. Beautiful. Root to rise, coming all the way up. Spin your body towards the left side. Inhale, take your hands up to the sky. Exhale, bring your hands down, frame the front foot, step back to plank pose. Take a moment here, draw navel to spine. Drop your knees, drop your chest. Inhale, lifting up to cobra. Opening your heart, take an extra breath here. Exhale, release down, press back. Take a breath in child's pose, just to soften. Inhale, curling up to all fours. Tuck your toes, lift your hips. Take a breath here. Exhale. And at the bottom of your exhale, step your feet to the front of your mats. Inhale, look forward, look ahead. Exhale, fold in, coming into forward fold. Inhale, press into your feet, rise up, take your hands up above your head, bring your hands down to your heart, and come back into mountain pose again. Palms facing forward, pressing down in the feet, thighs drawing back, belly drawing back, shoulders drawing back, just connecting to your strength, your power. Breathing that in. And then we're going to bring the legs together. So if you have a block, you can put the block in between the thighs. So it's not on the knees and it's not right up in the crutch. It's in between the thighs, but only if you have one. Don't worry about looking for one. If you don't have one, then you're just going to bring the feet, the inner arches of the feet together so they touch and squeeze the thighs together. That's it. Beautiful, Charlotte. So like this, okay? The reason we use the block is it helps to squeeze. And when we squeeze like this, we're actually activating the core and using the pelvic floor. So we're going to come into our chair pose. And Charlotte, I'm not sure if you saw the breathing that we did at the start, but don't worry if you didn't. So we're going to come into our Kapalabhati. So this is the breath that really gives us a glow. So the way that we do it, we inhale, we exhale, we half inhale, and then it's a passive, passive exhale, a passive inhale and a more pronounced exhale. Okay, so I've just turned my sound off again, so you won't hear me because of doggies, but I'll just put it on so you can hear my sound. Okay. Right, okay, so we're going to come in to fish chair. Take the arms either up in front of you or above your head. See how they feel for you. And squeeze your legs together so you're engaging the pelvic floor. Take an inhale. Exhale. Half inhale. Here we go, 20 pumps. 3, 2, 1, come up, hands together, tongue to palate, hold the breath for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Exhale, and we're going to do one more round. This really helps us to glow, expands the lung capacity. One more round, here we go. Inhale, exhale, clear it out. Inhale halfway. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Sit a little bit lower if you can. Tongue to palate. Retain the breath. Engage pelvic floor. For 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Release forward. Take the block out from in between your legs. Take a moment. Squeeze the thighs together. Bring the hands down onto the floor. Bend the knees again. We're going to come into an even lower chair. You can skip this if it's too much. Sweep your hands up in front of you. Stretch the hands forward. And press the palms together and hook. Either bring the hands to the heart and twist to the right side, or hook the left elbow over the knee and find a little twist, squeezing the legs together just for a breath. And then inhale, take the hands forward. And then other side. So it can be a little twist from the chest or hook the elbow over. Beautiful. Coming back, standing up, have a little shake out. Ooh, strong on the legs, strong on the legs. And then let's take the legs wide, bringing the feet parallel to the outside edges of the mat. Interlace your hands behind you, or just bring the hands back with the palms facing forward. And we're going to release forward. So it may just be a little halfway like this and then coming up, or you may want to interlace the hands and come further forward. So see how your body feels, pressing into the feet. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, releasing forward. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, releasing forward. So these poses where we take the head below the heart, downward facing dog, this are good if you're feeling ever like you're in a bit of a funk and you need to get out of it. If you turn upside down, which is what we're doing, taking the head below the heart, inverting, they can just make you feel good. Last one, so option to hold here, either holding halfway or coming all the way down, seeing where you feel in your body. If it feels good for you to release all the way forward and bring the hands up over the head, then do. And then from here, let's start to bend into the right knee and then the left knee. It can be a little micro bend. See how you feel. And then just move a little bit into the shoulders. So you're just moving, releasing any stuck energy. Sigh it out through the mouth. Let it go. 2 more. Come back to center. Take your hands up over your head. Beautiful. Interlace your fingers. Press up to the sky. Stretch up, reach up. Stretch over to the right. Over to the left. And then come back to the center. And let's come down into our Hindi squat. So bring the feet in so they're slightly wider than hip distance. If you've got any knee issues, you can just come down to seated. And we're going to come down into our Hindi squat pose. And press the hands together. Option to stay here and just visualize this space in between the eyebrows, or option to bring your thumbs into this space in between your eyebrows and just connect to your intuition, that inner knowing, that clairvoyance. That we're always right. One more breath. And then release. So we're going to come to all fours. So we're going to come into a position that you can either do this by all fours or you can do it from downward facing dog. Okay, so I'll show you in all fours, and it's called Wild Thing. And I'll show you, let me show you with my right leg. Okay, so we're going to extend the right leg, and then we're going to bring that right leg up to the sky. Now, option, if you're very tight in the hips, to just stay here, or option to bring this right foot over behind us, and then the right arm, so the right leg is lifted and the right arm comes up and over to here, okay? Now you can do this also in downward facing dog. So in downward facing dog, it looks a bit more like this, and then you flip your dog and bring that foot down to the floor. But if, like me, you're nursing a shoulder issue, then go easy with that version, especially on the sore shoulder. So I'm going to take the easier version today, okay? So just see where you're at. You start to lift up this right knee, that's it, and then just release it over. And I want you to have a little play with extending the right arm and just moving. So this is Wild Thing, connecting to your wild side. Just releasing the arm, stretching. That's it, beautiful. Opening the heart, getting a bit creative. Beautiful. And then coming back down and changing sides. Doesn't matter how it looks, it's how it feels. So extending the left leg, and then the left leg can come up high, and then it can start to come over onto the floor, and then you just lift up this left hand. You can bring the hand back, you can bring it over, you can have a little dancey play, just playing with opening and releasing into the heart and strengthening into your arms. One more breath. And then let's come back to all fours. Lovely, lovely. Take a moment here to breathe. And then we're going to come into Pigeon Pose. So sliding the right leg forward. You can either come into Pigeon or Deer. So Deer, that back knee is bent as well. Coming into Pigeon just for a couple of breaths today to work into the hips. If you need a little bit of support, if you've got iffy knees, just take Child's. Inhale, looking forward, and exhale, folding in. Just coming down onto the forearms or bringing your head all the way down. If this is too strong, then take this version, Deer Pose, where the back knee is bent as well, which is a little bit easier. Hopefully you can see my back leg. Just opening into the hips, just for a breath or two. Oh, I'm on time today, which is good. Exhale. One more breath. Just allow that little release into the sacrum, into the hip bones where we carry lots of emotions. Just breathing into that space, clearing out. Last breath. And then walking to your hands, straightening your hands, drawing the shoulders back, extending your heart forward. And then sweeping that left leg, the back leg, all the way around. And we come into a little twist here. So the back leg is in front of you, inhale, and then stretch towards the left side. And then coming back to the center, and let's switch legs. So your left leg comes in front and your right leg is behind you, either in deer as I am now, or in pigeon. And just see how you feel. Just leveling the hips, making sure your knee feels comfortable. For the first one, inhale, look forward, draw shoulders back. And then exhale, slowly go in. You don't always have to go all the way down. You can use props, or you can just go down a little way. Check in with the hips. So in yoga, we often say that the hips are like the cupboard under the stairs, where we chuck everything. We think one day we'll deal with that. Just chuck it under there. Two more breaths, just noticing how your left side, your feminine, feels in relation to your masculine, the right side. Final breath. And then slowly, slowly making your way up, straightening your arms, shining your heart forward. And then bringing that back leg around and bending it, lengthening up into the spine and taking a twist to the right side. Beautiful. And then we're going to come to lie onto our backs. And we're going to take a little pose just to stimulate the lymph node. So if you have a comfortable shoulder stand practice, know that you can take it. But as long as your neck and your shoulders are completely comfortable, and I'm not going to take that today. So if I was teaching you shoulder stand, I would always have a blanket level to the shoulders, and then I would go up. Okay, I always have a blanket there anyway. But we're just going to do legs up. So just bringing your legs up. And you're also going to take the arms up. So bring the arms, shoulders away from the ground, and then let them drop down with the palms facing each other. And this is a great pose to do against the wall at the end of a hard day with the arms down, just like this with the legs up. Or you can raise the hands and do this little quick version. And this is good because it stimulates the lymph. So that kind of, the lymph doesn't have a circulation. So that means the fluid drains out into our armpits and our breasts. Just a good way to flush out any toxins. Just take a couple of breaths here. Exhale, clear it out. Last breath. And then draw your knees into your belly. Take a couple of little rocks from side to side. Just drop your knees over to the left. Open the arms, take your gaze towards the right and belly twist. And then come all the way over, knees to the other side, looking towards your left, just stimulating the digestion, releasing any tension in the low spine. And then come back to the center, take any adjustments you need, extend your legs. Let's take a couple of minutes in Shavasana, or just a minute, just to allow us to assimilate our practice, calming the breath. It's really windy here today. Hopefully the wind doesn't interrupt our class too much. 2 more breaths. Bringing your hand on your heart. Again, honouring all that you are, all of the women that came before you, all that makes you a beautiful woman that you are. Final breath. And then slowly making your way up to seated, rocking and rolling. Final breath. And then slowly making your way up to seated, rocking and rolling, rolling over to your side, whatever you need. And coming up to seated. And if you need to leave, then I understand. If you can stay just for a minute of breathing, just to calm everything down, then do. But I know that you have to do school runs and stuff. So I understand if you need to leave. I'll send you the recording anyway. So we're going to do a few rounds of Nadi Shodhana. If you have to go, you have to go. That's totally fine. So Nadi Shodhana, the index finger and the middle finger come down onto the thumb mound. The thumb comes onto the right nostril. We inhale through the left side. This is such an important breathing technique for mums to do every single day. Inhale through the left side. Close the ring finger down. Exhale, thumb side. And it's good for your kids to see as well, to learn. Inhale, right side. Thumb comes down. Exhale, left side, ring finger. Inhale, ring finger side. We're just going to do 3 more. Close both nostrils. Exhale, thumb side. Look in, look in. Hello. Last 2. Exhale, ring finger side. Last 1. Inhale, ring finger side. Close. Exhale, thumb side. Bring your right hand down to meet your left. Such a powerful breathing to balance us, to release stress. And let's close out with an Om today. Om.